Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be bringing guys a 2022 Washington Commanders salary cap update. So I'll give you guys how much the Washington Commanders have in salary cap space right now. I'll show you guys some of the details of the latest contracts from the rookies and some of the other free agent signings. We'll talk about how much money the Washington Commanders will get once Landon Collins is officially off the books, and will that be enough to sign some other free agents and extend someone like Terry McLaurin, Cole Holcomb, maybe even Daron Payne. So we'll talk about all that and much more. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content on the road to 8,000 subscribers. So please help me get there. Also hit that like button and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video, and hit that thanks button if you can. Now let's get right into the video. So the Washington Commanders currently have about $7.4 million in cap space, and that's with them signing most of their 2022 rookie class. We're going to get into some of the details of the contracts a little bit later. They still haven't signed Percy Butler or Fedarian Mathis. I don't think it's a big deal at all. It'll probably happen in the next couple weeks. I don't know when they probably have to get it done by. I think it's minicamp, or else they can't be there. I'm not sure completely, but it'll probably happen soon. Usually the mid-round picks, it takes a little bit longer for those to get done. I expect that though to get done in the next couple weeks. But the other rookies, they've all been taken care of, and we'll get into the details in a little bit. But they have $7.4 million, which is definitely enough to get some deals done with free agents and stuff like that. But it would be nice to have some more cap space. And Landon Collins, we released him, I believe early March or mid-March, right when free agency was about to start, and we didn't get, or the Commanders didn't get any cap space from that because they designated it as a post June 1st cut. So because of that, they didn't get any immediate cap space relief. But now they're gonna get even more cap space relief. So relief, instead of it being $6 million back in March, it's gonna be close to $12 million. So that is a good move for them, and it's gonna allow them to do a lot more things. Maybe sign some more free agents. Maybe use some of that money to extend Terry McLaurin or Cole Holcomb, and some of that money also will roll over to the next year. So let's say we get that done with Landon Collins, it goes to $19 million, close to $19.3 million, and then you factor in Fedarian Mathis and Percy Butler, their contracts, and it probably goes down to 18, maybe 17.5, because the first year cap hit is very low for these rookies. So 17.5 mil, they have enough to get a deal done with Terry. I mean, here's the thing. Terry already, his deal, he's already on the books for this year for $3 million. So if they did a deal, it would, the cap hit for this year would go up, but it wouldn't go up to 2022. They would just, if they did get that cap hit up, it would help take, some of that money from those other years away, so it helped the deal in the long run. So maybe instead of 3 mil, it'll go up to 9 mil, and that would be a lot, but that would be, that would really help out the Commanders in the long run, so that in year 3, year 4, they're paying less than if they just paid him $3 million this year, and it, added 4-year, $22 million per year onto that. So that's what I think they should do. Try to raise this cap hit for this year a little bit. And yeah, so if they do that, that'll lower the cap space for this year a little bit, but they should have more than enough to get a deal done with Terry McLaurin once the Landon Collins release becomes official. And they might even bring back Landon Collins eventually, but if that happens, it'll probably be pretty cheap. Not 2, but 3 to 5 mil is what I think it would it would be at this point in free agency. We're getting into that June period. Not a lot of players, there's not a lot of great players available, and at this point, the teams have more leverage than these players, so they're not going to get a lot of money. It'll probably be a 1-year deal for most of these players in free agency. So I think they could try to bring back Landon Collins, get him for relatively cheap, and I would think I think that's a great move. And that would basically you save $12 million and you sign him for 2-3 mil. that's an amazing deal if they can get that done. I would absolutely love that. If, Percy Butler isn't looking amazing, then maybe you bring in Landon Collins to play that Buffalo nickel, but hopefully Percy Butler looks great. But who knows, maybe they want Percy Butler as a free safety and they would still need that, Buffalo nickel, and they can bring in someone like Landon Collins. But they're in a solid cap situation for sure. Like, even if they extend Terry, maybe even extend Cole Holcomb, they're going to have cap space to bring in some of these low-tier to mid-tier free agents that are available, like Alexander Johnson, Chris Harris, Quan Alexander, Dante Hightower, Joe Schobert. Like, there's a lot of, linebackers available. Not great linebackers besides, I think Alexander Johnson's a solid one, but, like, they definitely can go out there with the money they have and sign some of these guys for sure. And I think they should. Even someone like AJ Klein, I think they can get him for close to the vet minimum. Like, it'll be a little bit more, but like, he's been a backup to starter, in his career, and he would be a huge upgrade though over David Mayo, in my opinion. Like, he's a low tier starter to very high quality backup. And David Mayo is like a low-tier backup, in my opinion. Like, he's a good special teams player. You don't want him as your next man up. And if we're in like any three linebacker sets, at this point, it looks like David Mayo would be on the field. And that's just not something you want to have happen. So I think they need to go out there, get another linebacker, and they can do it for relatively cheap. And then I talked about a bunch of different free agent options in a video a couple of days ago, so go ahead and check that out. But we talked about, defensive tackle. They could probably use another one there, maybe even another defensive end and a slot cornerback. So real quick, kind of looking into the, breakdowns of the contracts. Jahan Dotson, 4-year, $15.048 million deal. Year one, the cap hit is a $2.7 million, cap hit. So if you look at it, like not Jahan Dotson, Fedarian Mathis and Percy Butler, like, it'll probably be like 1.5 to 2 million combined for both of those guys, since it's a second and a fourth round pick. Shouldn't be too much at all, but this is a good deal. And that's why it's like, if Jahan Dotson turns out to be a good receiver, a low tier 1 or a high tier 2, I mean, it's a great pick because you get, and that's why first round picks are so valuable, because you get a guy like this for 4 years, $15 million, and then obviously the 5th year option. And someone like Christian Kirk, who I think Jahan Dotson could be better than, is going for $20 million a year. Like, that is insane, and that is the great value of the first round pick. And then Cole Turner, 4-year, $4 million deal, basically. Again, another cheap deal if he can turn out to be a solid player. And then you look at Sam Howell, a little bit more because he was drafted a few spots earlier. 4-year deal, worth a little bit over $4 million in total. So very similar contracts once you get down to these other ones. And then Chris Paul got a 4-year, $3.764 million contract. And you guys can see the signing bonuses and the base salaries. And this just shows, like, there's not that much of a difference in terms of like the 5th round and the 7th round contract. But then you look at like the drop off between the 1st and the 2nd round, like they're big drop offs. Even like a few spots in the 1st round, like it's a significant change in price, and that's it's just crazy. And then someone like Andrew Norwell, there's a lot of different contracts that we could look through, but I just want to show you guys the Andrew Norwell. Like, this deal is a nice deal, especially in the first year. It's a $2.78 million cap hit for Andrew Norwell, who I think will be a good starter for us at that left guard position. And then in 2023, it's a little bit higher, but $5.12 million. But again, the cap will likely go up, so it's not going to be as much of a jump as it looks like, because it's close to it's close to double the price in 2023. Not double, but close to it. And then you have to just account for, the cap's going to go up, so it's not that big of a jump. And then you can look at the signing bonus right there, everything right there. It's a good deal, and that's the same thing with all of them. It's just they haven't made any big signings, and I understand it, but I think at this point, like, they just need to go ahead and get a linebacker. I don't care, who it is, really. I mean, anyone at this point is going to be better than David Mayo as that next guy up. Like, even if they're only playing 2 linebacker sets most of the time, you're one injury away from playing David Mayo every snap of the game basically, and that is not something you want to have to do. So get someone. I would probably sign 2 guys, but at the minimum, 1 guy that is significantly better than David Mayo, and that shouldn't be too hard to do. So that is it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think about the Commanders cap situation and what they should do with it. I talked about it. I think that, they should, once the, cap relief comes from the Landon Collins release, extend Terry McLaurin, do it sooner rather than later, because it's going to continue. His price is going to go up and up and up, and if he balls out this year, his price is going to go up even more for next offseason. And I just don't want this drama. Just give him a contract extension, whatever he wants, 22, 23, even up to 25. I'm fine with it. Just extend the man. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.